Welcome back, everybody, to Total Nonstop Impact Talk for Impact fans. Right here on the YouTube and the Twitch. Getting old, man. Brain farting like on a holiday. There we go. To my left, your right, Mr. Front Row Bill in the house. We're here to cover some news tonight. I'm going to kind of let my man here take things over because I've only seen so much of it, but he was the one that came up with the idea to go live on this Memorial Day. As you see, we got a patriotic background here and everything. And hey, I like that new shirt, man. Is that one of those new tie-dyes?
Yeah, it's the custom tie-dyes out of the Great North up in Canada.
That is nice. Justin Miller here with he's been a 4-month member, dude. Thank you for your support, brother. We really appreciate it. Hope everyone is having a safe holiday. I know there's been a lot of different storms rolling across this great nation of ours. And, a lot of us have had to hunker down here and there over the last several weeks. So it's just storm front after storm front. So stay there, stay safe. Hopefully, if you had plans, they weren't ruined too much, but it is what it is. As long as you're staying safe, that's the most important thing. So, but thank you for joining us. Thank you, baby. We are here to talk about some different things that have popped up in the news and that people in general are just talking about. Bill told me that the Discord seemed to be fired up about different news things and said might be a good idea. So yeah, here's Slowpoke and the Twitch. Yeah, that's why we're here, man. That's why we're here. We're going to talk about the Ultimate Insiders news that broke. Thank you to Santino Varela. There was a video that came out, so I'm sure some of you saw it. And if you didn't, well, we're here to inform you. And then there's also some stuff about Slammiversary that people are talking about. So that's why we're here tonight. And just to, diving into the chat, getting people's opinions and sharing ideas, and just make sure you're keeping it friendly in the chat. That's all we ask, because, it happens when people have different ideas. They get a little raunchy. But so, all right. Bill, I'm turning it over to you. What do you want to start on, bro?
Well, let's start with the YouTube Ultimate Insider changes, we'll call it, because I think that's really what got everybody kind of the most fired up over the last few days, and that is obviously a lot of us. We have our Twitch people, we have our YouTubers here, but I know a lot of the YouTubers here are part of how they watch TNA and the Impact television show weekly is via the YouTube Ultimate Insiders. And I think we kind of all thought there probably would be a change at some point as soon as Endeavor took over the TNA Plus and they revamped the whole TNA Plus. And admittedly, I'll give them at some point, J-Bode, we'll bring up the Q&A section if we can with a share screen of Rooney, because their Q&A, I got to give them credit for what they did with the Q, like the frequently asked questions, the FAQ section of what's going on. And they were very blunt about it. Like they admitted that the app previously in the previous incarnation that we talked about a lot here on the TNI show was not good. It was buggy. It had issues. But this new one, I think they put a lot of money into it. They got the biggest streaming company out there in this field handling it. And it does seem like people are pretty happy with it right now. And let us know, TNA Plus, how it's going for you. But that is that we knew at some point it was going to eventually make its way over there, a lot of the content. And that's what's happening. But to be clear, and this is, I think there was, the way they kind of put it out there, it wasn't exactly clear. But if you don't have cable or your cable provider does not provide the Impact Weekly television show, and you were getting it via YouTube Ultimate Insiders. The 99-cent a month plan is not going anywhere. That will remain.
Right.
So you can continue to watch Impact, your TNA Impact weekly show via YouTube for 99 cents a month. So if you're doing that, no change. Keep on going. Nothing's going to be different for you. So you're good. The real change is going to be if you watch the monthly specials on the $4.99 a month plan. That's what will be changing for you, because that plan is going to go away as of June 1st. So a couple days, they're calling it sunsetting because it's going out the pasture. Shame.
Right.
It's done. So
it's going down.
More of that plan. So to see the monthly specials, you will have to now subscribe to the TNA Plus app, which is the whole goal here. That's what all these companies want you to do, is go to the app. So I can't fault them for that. That's what they're doing. That makes sense.
It's a business.
It's a business.
Like, they invested. They put money. The company put money into this new streaming service, and we complained about the old one for God knows how long.
And that's what these were. These were TNA Plus monthly shows. That was the whole point of these shows, was to originally sell the app, but then the app had glitches and issues. So they're like, we'll just sell it through YouTube. But you got to remember, and hey, we appreciate YouTube for their support on us, but let's not kid ourselves. YouTube's taking a big cut of that. So if you're doing it on your own app, guess what? You don't give up that cut anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, and I as soon as TNA Plus, went with Endeavor, I knew it was going to be a better. At least I always preach no assuming, but I did assume it was going to be better, and I made the investment. There was a special going on when they first, broke ground on it, so to speak. And they got specials now on the website, because this is a change for people. Some people went over right away. Some people have not, obviously. But yeah, so when that happened, I went to the full-blown total package, get your pay-per-views, get everything in one big caboodle, which is an investment. I get it. Not everyone can do that. But they got the smaller deals just to get everything but the pay-per-views. And I kept my 99 cents over on YouTube to get the episodes for when I do the live streams, because my cable company is kind of wonky sometimes. So if I need to quick flip over and do the YouTube, for 99 cents a month to get each episode for a quarter, that's the best buck I spend a month. I mean, just, to have that peace of mind, to have that backup. And plus, they put I think they put a couple things on there maybe, but if it's just the YouTube now, then that's all there is. And the main Ultimate Insiders is done away in a few days, like Bill said. So, but if you want to keep the weekly episodes for $1 a month, that is staying. So
yeah, and then I think the key
is
all
you need. Yeah,
then you're good. But obviously, if you want to continue getting those monthly specials, or even just want to try it out, as Justin says, they are doing an offer here for the test it out. So what was you can continue that for 2 months, and you will get obviously the monthly specials, which will be Against All Odds in Chicago coming up. That would obviously be the next one on the docket for June. So definitely, if you haven't tried TNA Plus, they're giving you an incentive to do it, because I know pretty much since this changed, I don't think they've done like the 30-day free trials or anything lately. They did just do some discounts on the different tier plans where you can get the big four included at that higher tier. So, but this is an option, obviously. If you want to continue kind of what you had, try it out for the next couple months. See if that's, hey, now remember, if you didn't have it, if you were just on the Ultimate Insiders, you didn't have the full library. Now you have the full library. And I believe they just recently got, I think, the remaining episodes of Impact that were missing. I think they got 2004 through now. I think they got those spike years that were missing. I think I heard something in the last couple of days about that. They may have finished it off. So once again, another great reason to check it out.
Yeah. One question here in
go ahead.
Chat. Slowpoke asks, you can do the weekly shows live on the app. If so, can we go back to doing watch-alongs with the app? I wish, because that was a great deal when we were doing that with the Twitch and stuff, because we were co-streaming with their permission. And I think they were in a position to, we don't care who does it. We just want to get the product out there. That was their way of thinking. And especially for like international people, that's where we gained a ton of our audience back, a handful of years ago. But I don't think the TNA episode is live on the app. I think it's.
I do not believe it is. Day. Yeah, I do not believe it is. When we get that their FAQ up, we can double check to see if I don't think they reference it in there. Although maybe there is an answer to it. And anybody that does know that, that's more because obviously we have been following more of the Ultimate Insider here. Here we go. Justin's got the answer. The Thursday show drops right after it ends on Access. That I did hear that. Thank you, Justin. So it's once it ends at 10 Eastern, but you don't get it live. You get it as soon as it ends, which is kind of like a very normal on-demand feature. That's the whole reason, because you really, even though Anthem owns Access TV, they have the broadcast rights for the live show.
Right. It's just a few very important words, but that you said them right there. Broadcast rights.
Yeah. Okay? So
even though TNA has,
if you're airing it the same time as somewhere else, then it's no longer. Then what's the point of the broadcast rights? Because you're circumventing them. Really, is what you're doing. So by doing it that 30 minutes they were able to do commercial free, like that was a way to kind of get around it. Which was a good concept they used. I think it was pretty successful. But obviously with the app, it would have to be right after. But once again, for the 99¢, you can still do the commercial-free version 30 minutes after, which is still, so it's still an option out there and still be finished by 10. But thank you, Justin, for that. That was good heads up.
And like I said, keep the chats coming, because we want to see how you guys are feeling about this. And look, you ain't gonna hurt our feelings. We're just here to bring you the news. I mean, obviously, if we like and support the DNA Plus, we can do our best in our professional podcasting opinion to say, hey, we think you should give it a shot. Are we getting paid to say that? Hell no. But it's like all it is, hey, we've tested it out. We've had it now. We're happy with what we're getting. I've had the pay-per-views on there. I can't complain. There might have been a little glitch on one of the shows somewhere. I couldn't even tell you which one it was. But so far, so good, so we can just at least give you that opinion. So
and speaking of opinion, let's show Andrew Pollard's here. Hi, Jay and Bill.
Andrew,
I'm cool with Ultimate Insiders going for TNA Plus. I enjoyed Ultimate Insiders. That gave me my Impact fix when I didn't have cable. Now I have TNA Plus Champ with everything I want in one place. Love it. So once again, and right now that they're giving you that option for 2 months, that should be like, if you hopefully you're able to, and if you're willing to, especially if you were already doing the Ultimate Insiders for the $4.99, you're not losing anything. So try it out, see how you like it. Hopefully, then that becomes a regular for you, and something you can continue going forward. And maybe you like all that additional content.
I greatly appreciate people's humor Here, Slowpoke says, looks like a big business trying to take my good hard-earned money from the working man. I kid. Yeah, in fact, I did see a couple. I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to call people out and be like, well, you're stupid. No. I ain't here to do that. I did see a couple of choice opinions on the Discord. And it's like, look, this is not a money grab. This is not this is business.
Yeah, let me see if I can get the link, because the term money grab, J-Bone, that's used by TNA.
It is. Here, I got it right here. Yeah.
Just because you said it, maybe let's throw that up now.
That's kind of why it's Here we go. Share screen of Rooney. We love the share screen of Rooney. Select the tab.
The share screen of Rooney.
Audio. So here we go. All right. So this is the article that came out simultaneous to the Santino Morena. Let me see if I can do a little zoom in on this a little bit. Kind of blow up the text a little bit here. There we go. That's nice. Here. All right. So this has the sign up information. This is sign up for the World Champion annual plan. You'll get the next 2 pay-per-views free, including July's Slammiversary. And that's $80 off. That's a hell of a deal, folks. That is a hell of a deal. If you haven't jumped in yet, I've jumped in. I'm pretty sure Bill has. If you have not, this is a hell of a way to do it if you can swing it. That's a great savings there. The code is 2PPV. Sign up for the special attraction monthly plan, and we'll match the price of the Ultimate Insiders for you. First 2 months, $4.99 a month. Offer code Try Us. Offer codes are valid through June 6th, 2024. So you don't have forever to think about this. You got
we'll be able to do a reminder on the Thursday show. But another reason I really wanted to go live tonight was because these changes will happen before then. They're happening quick. So we want to make sure that, because we know a lot of the people that either watch us or listen to us, you guys are the hardcore. Like, there's some casuals, but a lot of you guys are the hardcore TNA fans. So, and I know just from people contacting me that I think a lot of this has been either not communicated well or misinterpreted. So anything we can do to maybe help answer some questions, or, hey, this is, I put it out there, this is our TNI Memorial Day barbecue NA, just like the old family dinner Q&A. So feel free to put those questions in the chat regarding this, regarding anything else going on right now in TNA and Impact. Because that used to be irregular, but here we go.
Yeah. So here's a big statement at the end here before they get into the Q&A. It says, we've also got several big announcements coming this summer to make you wish you did this sooner. So there's stuff that they got cooking.
They've been hitting. So, guys like Lou have posted comments, like cryptic tweets and all. It does seem like they have some big plans coming up. What they are, who knows? Could it be like another UK? Could it be a UK pay-per-view? Could it be a big signing? Could it be another show? We've talked about that in the past. Like, could it be more content on either Access TV or on the app?
Right. And we've always said that's kind of hard to do given the limited roster that they have. Now, do we think they should get 200 more people for the roster? No. This is for the company this size, this is a great size roster. You can only do so much with it. That's true. But for what they have, it's been pretty comfortable. You got X amount of knockouts, X amount of, tag teams and such. Are they going to invest and hire, X amount of more people so they can put out more content depending on what it is? Who knows? We got to wait and see, but it sounds like it's a positive nonetheless. So here we go. Frequently asked opinions. or frequently answered opinions. Here we go. So it's a little different.
An FAO.
This is a cash grab. And it says not.
Oh wait,
exactly.
hold on, J-Bone.
Oh.
We should drop bites with all this while we're doing it. So okay. Give us that first one. Hold on, I'm gonna get it ready for you. I'm teeing you up on it. All right, say it one more time.
Okay. It says this is a cash grab.
We came here for a lot of money.
Oh, hi. Hey, thank you, Carl. Much appreciated. I'm glad I kept that one in there. I was going to go through and kick a couple out. So answer is not exactly. The move to TNA Plus will offer you the best bang for your buck. Heard that somewhere else before. And the best fan experience yet. Coming this summer, you will see lots of new perks exclusively available to TNA Plus subscribers, in addition to all the action-packed content offering that TNA Plus is known for. So your episodes, your monthly specials and such. Still not sold? Give TNI Plus a try for 2 months at the same price you currently would pay for YouTube Ultimate Insiders with the code TRYUS. Now make sure you don't, type in Tyrus, it's try us. If you're not happy, you're free to cancel anytime before the price goes back up. Opinion. But you're keeping the 99-cent plan for a YouTube account? You got a bite for that one too, or no?
Oh yeah, wait, you know what?
I can turn it on anytime, Pat.
Come on,
no problem.
Okay. But this is the one that we discussed earlier, saying, this is not a cash grab. We want people to watch TNA at any price point. We think having the 99-cent plan is a good way to put your money where your mouth is, and as an introduction to what we do. So it's staying. Like I said before, the 99-cent plan on YouTube is staying. If that's all you want is, the episodes, because you don't have it on cable, or you don't have it in your special streaming service you got, like I don't know what all the different things are out there. With Against All Odds coming up on Friday, June 14th, you should try the TNA monthly plan with offer code TRYUS and see how you like it. Top of that, we're giving you Slammiversary and Bound for Glory for free. That's an $80 in savings when you join for a year in the World Champion Annual Plan with offer code 2PPV.
Yeah, Slammiversary and Bound for Glory, I don't think anyone's going to argue. That's you call it a big 4, but a big 2. There's always a debate on what's the bigger show. It was probably early on Bound for Glory, but I think people think during the Anthem era, it's probably Slammiversary as the big show. So either or. But getting those included in the package at a discount, tough to argue with that.
Yeah. Slowpoke's got a question here. It says, how long do the pay-per-views usually take to be available on the app? Now, that's a good question, because I've watched them live, but I've never watched them tried to watch them.
Now you're not obviously talking the plus specials, right? You're talking the big 4.
Yeah.
Now, someone else can probably answer that closer than I can. But was it either 90 days or 60 days? I think it may have started at 90, but then it went down to 60. But if someone there can let me, but I think it was about 3 months, I thought originally. But someone could probably answer a little better.
And that's what it also was on the if you had the Ultimate Insiders as well. They popped them up on the YouTube. So
okay, and that might be more what I'm thinking of. So anyone there that knows more specifically, feel free to put it in the old chat.
So let's see what else we got here. I don't know if I'm going to read this whole thing, but let me see here. I had the app already. I had the app already. It never worked and felt like a waste of money. Okay, so that goes back to what we talked about time and time again, and that brought up because they were having so many issues on their website, their own website before this, and they brought up the YouTube, the Ultimate Insiders. That's how that came to be.
Yeah, and that was confusion in itself because you were trying to sell two products that kind of did similar things.
Right. Yeah. So for a while I had both, then I just got the one because I was like, forget the app. It ain't working. Why? It's a waste of money for me.
Yeah, so obviously the bite for the people, what they were feeling was,
This is a bunch of crap. This shit sucks.
Absolutely. That was, exactly. You can't skirt around that one. That's exactly how we felt.
Yeah, and then Justin here saying that if you have the year-long sub, it's the next day, and it's either 30 or 60 days for everyone else. So that's to say, it wasn't. I'm not 100% clear because, like I said, I wasn't usually going back to check. But that's usually kind of. I know it feels like it was within about that 60-day time frame.
Yeah. But here it says, the old app was glitchy and frustrating. We're excited to tell you that in December 2023, we relaunched the app with a new partner, same folks who created UFC Fight Pass, to vastly improve the reliability and user experience of TNA Plus. You should give it another chance. And if you do have an issue, we have a great customer support team available to help. That was another thing that we talked about. We were trying to message them and we'd get zero response. So, obviously with Endeavor taking things over, that's changed as well. So check out Against All Odds on the new and improved TNA Plus app. We'll offer code Try Us, blah, 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 blah. Then the next opinion here is I just signed up for YouTube Ultimate Insiders, $4.99 per month plan. Will I get my money back? Answer: once the YouTube Insiders $4.99 plan is sunset on June 1st, all active paying members will get a refund of their last payment. So that's actually nice. So however you say, just for example, say you set it up through PayPal or you set it up through your checking card online, through whatever. I don't even remember how I set mine up. I think it was through PayPal. However you set it up, you'll get it back the same way. Okay. So watch your bank statements for that over the course of the next couple weeks. Okay. And I say that few weeks because every bank is different. Okay. I'm not going to tell you that you're going to get it the next day. Every banking service, every service is different. So don't take my word for it. Just keep an eye on your stuff. Okay. So there you go.
Yeah. Usually the standard is kind of expect at the longest, 5 to 7 days, kind of a business to a regular week. Right.
Yeah. And you get your $5 back. Yeah. Says opinion. Wait, I'm a subscriber already. Can I get this deal? And okay, so this is interesting. Answer: of course. Lock in those pay-per-views. Lock in those pay-per-views and save $80. You're not going to want to miss Slammiversary July. Offer code 2PP. Okay, now hang on a second.
Well, I guess unless you've already paid annually, if you're already paying the monthly fee, you can use this code and you're going to get the pay-per-views.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe not discount. If you get the big,
if you bought the one that already includes everything, then no. You're already getting them. But if you don't have a plan that includes any pay-per-views, then you're good to go.
Right. They're right now, they're kind of talking about, people coming over from the $4.99 plan. That's what they're talking about. That's what they're trying to get people to do. And then the price will eventually increase. That's what's going on.
Yeah. If you're already part of the plan, but without the big four, you can obviously use this code and get those next two at that discounted rate.
Yeah. So, Mayor, we'll get to that at the end. That is some news. Yeah,
there is some news out there.
We're going to cover the TNA Slammiversary stuff and the Ultimate Insiders news first, and then if we got it any time, we'll discuss that stuff. Thank you, though. Let's see. This is another LOL TNA moment. Oh boy, you weren't kidding, Bill. You're killing the thing that fans love. Answer. Oh, this is the last one. Okay. Oh, believe us, this is the start of something much better. Focusing on TNA Plus will allow us to give you a better experience. Sign up and check out our options at watch.tnawrestling.com. And you'll automatically end up on our mailing list to keep up with everything we're doing. But this is a deal that might never happen again. Save money for the first 2 months with offer code Try Us, or lock in the full year with all our pay-per-views on the World Champion annual plan with offer code 2 pay-per-views. So either way, you're saving money, and because you know if you do the Try Us deal, you're going to get your YouTube money back. So you're not losing any money trying it out.
Yeah, you're just paying what you are paying.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and then I think
with additional options.
Right. So yeah, you've got options, folks. Bill, I don't know what plan you got. I got the World Champion plan, so it's all my stuff's on there. I don't have to worry about getting anything extra.
And that's what we heard from Andrew earlier. Like, it is a nice place to kind of get everything. It's like, that's all my TNA in one spot, which is the goal of all these apps. And some people are big time app people. Some people aren't. And that's kind of that's what they're trying to traverse here is both of those communities. And hey, you might just be a cable person and you're doing it through cable. And that's good for you. And hey, that's fine. But if you can't get it via cable, you still have that 99-cent a month plan if you just need it for the TV show. But you do have these other options. So once again, and I know there was a question or a comment in here from Andrew. Did the other wrestling news sites talk about this? I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't. I just heard about it on X. And from what I saw, there wasn't a lot of coverage of it, Andrew, but there was a little bit, and it was a little confusing because they kind of jumped on it and more saying it was gone, but not being clear about the 99-cent plan remaining. Yeah. And I'm not really going to rip the dirt. I know at times we have fun ripping the dirt sheets. It wasn't really clear from the video announcement at first. So I can see where they kind of jumped the gun a little bit. Still shouldn't do that, but I kind of will give them a little bit of a pass on it. But I didn't see a lot out there. That's why I thought this was something we did need to address. Because like I said, I know in our own Discord, and once again, definitely, because I know there's kind of been some back and forth in our Discord lately about this stuff. We want these opinions, just like here on the show. We want those opinions there. It's where we always like to say that's where you can carry the conversation 24/7 when the show's not going on. So it's below in the description. Definitely check out the Discord. We're always looking for new people to jump in. And honestly, you can talk TNA till you're blue in the face, but there's plenty of other topics. You can talk about other promotions, indies, all the WWE, the AEW. You can talk about non-wrestling topics because it's Memorial Day weekend, big movie weekend, J-Bone. Maybe at some point we'll talk because I said right before the Thursday show, I saw the new Mad Max film Furiosa, which I thought was very good. So like definitely you can talk about anything. We go beyond wrestling. So definitely check out the Discord because we definitely welcome more to the community. And hey, if once again, I know at times people just like in the chat might not want to say anything because they think if they're not part of what the majority opinion is that they can't really say it. But that's welcome. Like I think, as J-Bo said, as long as people are they interact with each other in a respectable manner, and like kind of that's, hey, differences of opinion is the way of life. We don't all have to agree to the same thing. Agree to disagree is the beauty. So
that's why we made the Discord, because other social medias are so damn toxic and ridiculous. That's why we wanted to offer something different for the people that just want to chat and just be cool, be cool with each other. And hey, you like this? Oh, nice. Oh, well, I like this. Let's talk about it. Not the fire and pitchforks that you see on everyday social media. It's
and ridiculous. Hey, just as I said it right here, hey, and one of our biggest supporters here, Terrence Sullivan, he's saying, hey, well, they lost me as a paid subscriber of 3 years. TNA management has drove this company in the ditch. I said what I said. Hey, you have every right to say what you want to say, Terrence.
Sure.
Hopefully, like kind of where that's kind of where we're reviewing this in as much detail as we can. Exactly. Because I think there are a lot of people like you right now that are like, hey, I love this thing. And they even said it, like as J-Bone just went over it. It's like, hey, I'm loving this. What are you doing? LOL TNA. So they knew, obviously, by putting that out there was going to be some opinions like you have. Not wrong. Not a wrong opinion. They're hoping maybe you would try this out to then hopefully convince you.
Right.
But
that's why they're offering these great deals.
Yeah, like, hey, it's the same deal, and see if that will be at least an appeasement of a similar, but they're hoping you like it better. They're thinking this is a better solution. Once again, it may be, it may not be. Not a right answer.
Because look at it this way, and look, I get people are upset and be like, oh, well, I just spent this, but now you want this instead. No, you're getting your money back. If you got the YouTube insiders, you're getting your money back. So that's why we're doing this. We don't want people thinking that they're getting ripped off. It's like, you're not getting ripped off. You can
like it will go like, hey, if that's what you really liked and you like everything about that will be changing. Once again, like if you're at a 99 cent, no difference. But if you're at that $4.99 tier, that's the difference. And that's why they're going to give you the TNA Plus at the $4.99 price point for 2 months to try it out, to continue getting the monthly specials, but then all the other content. So, but once again, it's going to be, I'm not going to say everyone's going to like it, because that'd be crazy. Everybody doesn't like everything.
And in the long run, you're still going to get more content, because they couldn't upload everything to YouTube.
No, they couldn't. And for them, they don't think, because once again, you're paying YouTube a lot, and they didn't want to get into that.
Yeah. So, and it's look, everyone's got their opinion. You can choose to go with it or whatever, it's fine. But we're just trying to let people know exactly what's going on. If you had any questions, we're trying our best. So.
Yes, and hey, and like I said, I think opinions are on both sides, and they're strong opinions on both sides. Because like it's as we said, it's a business, and they were going to go more streaming. I think we all saw this. We just didn't know when, and that they're keeping at least that 99 cent plan in place for people without it on cable. I think it's a good thing. But definitely understand. And like I said, it's very new. It's fresh. I think you got to see how it's going to be over the next couple months to really judge it.
Right. And that's why we're saying, hey, they're giving you the chance to check it out for the same price, which is nice. And even though the price is going to go up after 2 months, you're still getting more than you ever would have on YouTube. Because like I said, they can't upload everything to YouTube. With all the content and 20 years of episodes, it ain't gonna happen. They uploaded a lot, but
and I remember, like, once again, like just the whole thing of trying to promote both the Ultimate Insider on YouTube and TNA Plus. Like I remember poor David Penzer at live events being like, every time he would get on the microphone, like with any kind of short stoppage of time to try to promote something, Like it'd be like trying to talk about what, and it becomes more. You don't want to confuse consumers. That's about the worst thing you can do. And by having these two options, they kind of war. So I definitely get in the business aspect, getting it to be one system. Now, once again, was it done a little quick at the end? Like not a lot of notice? Yes. Was it communicated the best way? No.
No.
Like I do appreciate like this how they're answering these questions here, but you can always communicate better. And I think that's something that a lot of companies and businesses struggle with, communication.
Yeah.
And I think we obviously saw some of that here. They could have handled like PR'd it a little better here. But I think they're trying to do some of the things the right way.
Yeah. Yeah. So
like Dr. Gerbs, like this is just another opinion on it here, but I think this is a good one. My only gripe is having to wait till after it airs on the app. But if I'm at work, I'm going to want to watch it as checking in or watching as off work. Now, if they could maybe make that similar to what it is on YouTube right now, where it starts at 8:30 Eastern, commercial free, and do that on the app as well.
And just play the whole thing. Yeah.
I think that's your winning solution with this.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of the people,
run,
and hey, I might not be speaking, I might speak out of turn, let me know. But for those of you that are having some more of the issues with it, if they offer that, which would be kind of the same then as the Ultimate Insiders, where it's 8:30 to 10 and not at 10:01, I guess, would that help solve some of those problems?
Yeah.
Because then you're kind of getting exactly the same experience on TNA Plus that you did before. So
I wouldn't be surprised.
Maybe that's something they could look into.
But like we said, in the process of talking about these different options and stuff, that's why they are doing what they're doing, because Access TV does have the broadcast rights, and you can't get around that. You can't. That's just like, oh, well, they own Access TV. Okay, but it's still its own entity. Okay, they may own it, and they may, choose to own this and own that, but broadcast rights are broadcast rights for a reason. Okay, so that's just the way.
Yeah, because all you do,
company.
like, if you take it, like, if you're going to air something at the same time as it is on broadcast, you're cannibalizing that entity. Because, and then, like, right now, I think more of the market's starting to go like ratings. Like, can you really trust ratings these days? Because of how people are watching through all different ways. A lot of them are watching them later, like DVR. So that's kind of what through the app, the on-demand, you could say. But here, like, if you were to do it at the same time, like, so many people would not be watching it on Access instead. Like, those ratings would just drop.
Yeah.
Like, there's no doubt they would drop.
Right. And that's another reason why you don't see live stuff on other social medias, except for like pre-shows to pay-per-views and stuff like that. That's like, it's like, I see so many people say, oh, I'm not going to watch it live. I'll watch it live on Twitter. If you're going to watch something live on Twitter, that means you're just going to watch the clips that come out, and the clips come out like X amount of minutes after it happens. You never see nothing live. It's like, oh, I just saw this big thing that happened. Well, it happened 20 minutes ago, but you still got a live clip. You know what I mean? It's, same difference. So,
and maybe that could be a future thing. Like, I think obviously with Access TV, like, that isn't changing anytime soon. But, like, obviously we know starting next year, WWE is going to Netflix, right? And they will be live on Netflix.
Yeah, and that's really going to shake things up, because
so maybe that is the model at some point, through a streaming service to watch it live. Now, obviously, though, on Access, on the TNA Plus app, the pay-per-views are live and the monthly specials are live. It's just not the weekly show. It's not
the weekly episodic program, right? And that's that. If you've noticed, not everybody is into other sports. Like me, I watch some football, I watch some baseball, I'll watch stuff with my pop, but my dad watches all the baseball. He watches, team wise, he watches the Brewers. Perfect example. X amount of episodes of the season come through one channel. They got the main contract. But he notices on some Fridays, he can't see it on that channel. So when I go check streaming options, the Apple, what's it called? Apple Plus?
Yeah.
Apple Plus does live sports, and more streaming services are starting to get contracts for live sports, whether it be hockey, baseball, football, basketball. It's a growing thing. More and more companies, or more and more sporting companies, are giving more streaming services options for contracts. Like, you can watch most of the episodes.
It's live content, and overall, compared to still like making a movie or something like that, it's still economically a more affordable option most of the time, even with some of the big numbers you've seen lately. But it's there's a reason that, because like the NBA numbers that are out there right now for like how that's going with stuff, because I believe even one of the streaming services is going to get a piece of the NBA and the NFL, and the NFL now too. Like, they're all getting parts of this. Now, it might not be a lot of games. It might be a handful of games, but that is kind of the way of the future. And I could see this is another step where TNA probably goes that model. If that becomes the model, that's where it will go. Because who knows, like, all these live events might be on streamers at some point.
Yeah.
And not now, cable television.
Dr. Gerbs, I'm just curious. I know you've offered us a lot of different opinions over our talking about news and episodes and everything. You say your area doesn't get access. Okay. So now I'm curious, how do you watch TNA? Do you watch it through the app? Do you watch it through the YouTube, for your $1 a month? How do you watch it? I'm just curious. If you can let us know.
I think he was Ultimate Insider, but he can confirm. I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, there he goes.
All right, yeah. So you're okay. So you're a perfect example. You're watching everything through Ultimate Insider. So you're gonna get your $5 back. You're gonna get your $5 back. Come, let's say early June. Okay.
Yeah.
But you can still, make sure you can do the 99-cent. And that's one thing. I don't know if it's going to automatically just go down to the 99.
No, I think you're going to have to change it. Like, if you want to stay on there,
kind of re-sign up.
Yeah, I think you'll have to do that. But I think when Dr. Gerbs, I think he's considering doing the TNA Plus because of his schedule and just watching it at the 10 o'clock time Eastern on the app.
There you go.
Yeah. But once again, I think if they can finagle a way to do it at the same time as the YouTube. Now, once again, I don't know that. Was that a accommodation they made to YouTube where they, like, just we talk about broadcast rights, is the 8:30 rights a YouTube exclusive? I wouldn't think so, but I don't know.
There has to be some kind of, I don't know. They're a big company, so they gotta have something to do with that. So they can't be exclusively at the start time. So then they put it later without commercials. You just play the unedited content or whatever you call it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think we've pretty much covered all of that. If you still have more questions or anything, just pop them in there. I know you also wanted to discuss some Slammiversary stuff. I know there's some comments in the chat about that. Why don't you go ahead and kick off that part of our discussion?
Yeah, I know for Slammiversary, that's probably been the other hot topic the last couple days, because those tickets went on sale Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, up in Montreal. But I guess the big thing that happened there is when they went on sale live is I know a lot of people contacted me and kind of put out there on the social media and all. And you're talking people I know, supporters of our show, as well as supporters of TNA, that just the way it kind of came out or handled, however you want to say, there was the only tickets available when it came out for sale was, I guess, third row and back on the floor in GA. So I know there's a lot of people that travel to a lot of shows. There's some that go to like a Slammiversary or a Bound for Glory every year, just like how people go to WrestleMania. So they were kind of like, and usually when people travel, a lot of them, they're like, well, I'm only going to travel if I can get a really good seat. And usually at TNA, if you're quick, I won't say like if you wait around too long, like you've seen it before, J-Bone, like when they did some of those first Chicago tapings and stuff, like that front row will go pretty quick. But if you're there when they first go on sale, unless you're trying to get it for a group because remember we tried to get a group of seats together one time, that just wasn't happening. Like trying to get
That's
4
tough.
or 5 together. But if you're trying to get a solo or maybe a pair, you can probably get it when they first go on sale. That wasn't an option this time around. Like I said, first, second row, not available. So once again, I'm not 100% clear on everything on how that went and why that was. But I like and they've done this before. Like when they've ran Windsor, like they used through kind of like the border city connections, generate interest in the market, doing like a local only pre-sale. And it seems like they did the same thing for here, because obviously they haven't been to Montreal in over 10 years. This is a big show, a big building. So I get wanting to hit that market hard. If you've seen PCO's been all over the place up there, really promoting this. So they did make, and now I've seen nothing about like front row, but I know I saw stuff for like second, third row, floor seats, combos, stuff like that, just like they did in Windsor to really promote it. But the demand was there. Like, because obviously you saw tickets, like as soon as they went on sale, there wasn't a lot available. And almost is the floor seating completely gone right now? I think it is.
I looked yesterday.
Or maybe a couple solos.
Like, a couple, like 2 or 3 seats. That's it. Yeah.
Okay, so not a lot. There's Andrew. I'm going to Slam, and I bought a bleacher seat. I would have got a floor seat, but I hesitated. But once again, I get it. Like I get some, like definitely people that go a lot. I definitely can understand frustration at it. And maybe it was just they didn't expect the demand. Maybe they put more out, because I know in the past, and for a lot of these, you'll see where they put some tickets available for pre-sales, like for any show, for other wrestling shows, for concerts. They'll make like, let's just say half of the front row, half of the second row, half of the third row available during a pre-sale, but then they'll put the other half available for the full sale. But I will admit, I've gone to pre-sales where everything becomes open. So that seemed, maybe that was the case here. Once again, don't know for sure. But that was the experience, and I can understand people not being happy with it. And I'm hoping that gets addressed at some point, because there's a lot of people that I know are very loyal to the company. And I know that from being a loyal fan of this company for a long time, as well as a lot of us here on TNI and a lot of you here in the chat. I hope that like something can come from that and can get past that, because once again, it wasn't handled the best, obviously, from looks at, but I know from buying tickets for many other promotions and many other shows, there's been other, like, this isn't the only time these things happen. But once again, address it. Hopefully can move on from it. But yeah, well, like, because I know that's another point. Like, there's been these couple topics these last couple days, and I know, like I said, like I've been getting messages from people that I could tell there's some stinging points right now with the fan base.
Yeah.
So definitely want to get that out there, and definitely let us know. Like, if you're in the chat now, if you watch or listen to this later, feel free to put comments later, because obviously we'll have the review on Thursday. Feel free to bring all this up. And like I said, once again, I want more of you that are listening and watching us in our Discord, because I think, once again, that gives me an idea of what the current vibe is right now of the company. Because, like I said, a lot of the hardcore people are in there. So it gives a good idea of, like, okay, like, because we see it just like for people watching and listening to our show. When there's a lot more people listening, we know the demand is up. Like, the company's had a big pay-per-view. When it goes down, what's going on? Is it storylines? Is there something going on? So this is definitely what we want to check out. And here, I love this comment from, and I don't think I've ever seen this before, from J8 Hawk Rider. What's the Discord? The Discord pretty much, and I'm going to show my age, J-Bo. It's pretty much a message board system for those that may have done that. So it's pretty much a message board through a server that and Discord kind of hosts them. Like, you'll see them all throughout, like, the online world. But it's moderated and set up by us here at TNI. And it deals mainly with TNA, but there's all kinds of channels within there. And it's you talking, like, going back and forth with other members of the Discord community. Obviously, you can bring up whatever topics you like, comment on others, and then
there's different channels you'll see, like, on the side of the page. You can jump into Impact content, you can jump into WWE or the AEW. There's also, you can jump in, discuss music. There's all sorts of stuff.
Movies and TV.
If you are interested, the invite is in the description of the video. You click on that, and I'm pretty sure it still works. I'm a little rusty when it comes to the Discord, because I don't.
If it doesn't, let us know.
Yeah, please let us know, and we'll put a fresh one in there. I don't go in there as much as I used to. It used to be really hot, but like any social medias, some fire up, some cool down. So by all means, join us in there. There's always someone in there talking about something, wrestling or sports related or whatever. One thing I also do put in there from time to time is if there's new merch for the podcast, I'll put stuff in there first, kind of as a little bonus, like, hey, you guys saw it first, I'm giving you guys first chance at this merch, and then I'll put it on all the socials, Twitter, or the Facebook, Instagram, whatever, so it's a nice little bonus. So give it a shot, And like I said, we made the Discord because we know how toxic social media can be. So hopefully it's a little more friendly for you guys.
So I see Mark Mello here saying, well, back to the high seas as a pirate for PLEs. I'm doing the TNA Plus. $4.99 was a great value. Now, Mark, just to let you know, for the next 2 months, though, you can get it for that same value, the $4.99 to get those. So once again, that's what they're trying to entice. J-Bone, I don't know what it is offhand. Do you know what the normal monthly price is? Is it $7.99, $9.99? I'm not sure off the top of my head what the normal. Like, obviously, if you buy for a year, you get a discount, I think, but I forget the normal monthly price. I guess if you go to that link, it will say what the normal monthly price is.
Okay, here, I got it right here. I'll share it.
Killsteel saying it's 10. I thought it was, but I didn't want to assume it.
Okay. So I got, you see here, I got the world champion. There's a special attraction, $95.99 a year, full content, digital first content, all exclusive live specials, including Against All Odds on June 14th, $9.99 a month. That's the lowest one. Full content library, digital first content. That's like all the little bonus things they throw in there. The Joe Hendry eating stuff, whatever.
Food
All
fight.
Exclusive. Yeah. All exclusive live specials, including Against All Odds on June 14th. So it's all this stuff that's not the big four pay-per-views that they do. So there you go.
So you see, so it is $9.99 a month, but if you get the annual plan, you do get a discount on the $9.99 a month. And obviously for the next 2 months, you can do it for the $5 a month, the $4.99 a month.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah. There are options out there, and like I've said before, you are going to get more content on TNA Plus eventually for the $9.99, $4.99 first few months, $9.99 every month. After that, you're still going to get more content because you're going to get the whole catalog, and you're not going to get that all on YouTube. You know? So,
and here's another member. Once again, thanks to our members here on the YouTube. John Palmer with, I did the math. Ultimate Insiders and 4 pay-per-views is $219.84 a year. All that on TNA Plus is $219.99. So pretty much a wash, which obviously they're trying to go through. So just to kind of let you know.
Yeah. But with the special deal that they got right now, if you are not subbed to that big plan, you're going to get 2 of those pay-per-views for free, which is an $80 value. So if you do sign up now for the big plan, you are saving money. So just remember that.
Now here, because I once again, I want to both sides. Terrence here saying I'm not paying $10 a month for the monthly special on Impact. I don't give a crap about watching something in 2003 or 2005 or 2007, etc. that I watched 1,000 times. Now, Terrence, and I'm not sure about this on the top of my head. Do you have access to Access? Do you have it on cable or anything, or not? Like, do you have the option to watch it, or is it on a cable company? If you even have a cable company, and is it on like a tier that you have, or not? That I guess that's kind of the question, or not. Do you have another option? And he's saying, no, I don't. But I will still get my Impact fix through you guys. And that way, we always appreciate that, Terrence.
Well, we appreciate that. Yeah.
But like I said, hopefully, maybe there is some changes, a middle ground in the future. But once again, like I know they're trying to do with that tier, the $4.99, maybe give them a shot for those 2 months where it's the same price and kind of go from there. And if it isn't what you like and you can't find, it's not worthwhile, then it is what it is. Yeah. You got to make that decision.
And just a reminder, there still is the 99 cents per month
just for the
YouTube.
Show.
That just for the weekly TNA episodic show. That still is happening. Okay. So if you feel like you're losing everything, you're not. You still got that option. Okay.
Yeah. Optionality.
So John Palmer here saying for those paying annually, it's only $7.99 a month for the app. Considering inflation these days, it is any wonder they want the extra. It is any wonder they want an extra $3 a month. We'll put it this way: they're trying to get their investment back because they are going through a special company to make sure that this website, this streaming service works.
Yeah, and if you're looking at any
10
other
times better
streaming
than
providers, they're all going up lately. Like every streaming provider.
Yeah, for no ads, whatever. They're all got different options.
They've rise dramatically the last couple of years. That's why you're now seeing some doing like these package deals, like these companies that compete with each other are now packaging together to still try to
services
keep above commercial, like the cable companies, because people are now paying. The whole reason people went to streaming and cut the cord was to avoid high cable fees. But now, if you have enough streaming services, you might be paying more than you did for cable.
Yeah. Right. So is it, because I know a lot of people are still thinking about the old website that you paid $7.99 for and thinking, well, it's not going to be any different. It is going to be different. You are getting a better quality show. You're getting, I suppose it also depends on your internet service too. Like, if you live in an area where your internet is crap, well, then your shows might be a little crappy. But
that's for any streaming service. Like if you don't have a good signal and stuff like that, you're going to struggle in that world. Just know that going in. My recommendation is always a hard line for whatever service you have, because Wi-Fi becomes very all over the place. And I do see a couple people mentioning, I know we talked about earlier when we went over their comments. I wonder what the new content they're referring to. Are they bringing back indies and stuff like the Global Wrestling Network back in the day, where they had all different kinds of indie promotions and stuff like that.
Network. And that, honestly, you could joke about the GFW days, but that's when all of this actually started. It started with that.
That was the first app.
That was their first attempt at the streaming. So yeah, we can laugh about it, but hey, everything's got to start somewhere. Yeah,
it's been an evolution.
Look at WWE. Before they had the network out, they had that special, I don't know what the hell it was called. It was like the panels that would get together and show special shows and stuff like that. And then they came up with the $9.99. Me and
Dr. Gerb's here about that, saying they posted on Facebook that they are bringing back British Boot Camp for the app. That was on Facebook earlier.
Yeah, so if you like that,
and once again, that's a good sign for the future of a UK development. Like I said, I think after that kind of, we'll call it a demo, a beta of the UK tour that they did last year, I would feel like if they really want to try to do something in the UK again, you got to do a big 4 in the UK the next time you go there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I would not be surprised if TNA tries to, if the company puts the investment into TNA that they should, I would not be surprised if they are going to try to go more international for a certain amount of shows. Probably not to the extent that you see companies like WWE doing.
Oh yeah, I mean, they're going all
they're going all over the place. They got Saudi, they got France, they got Clash at the Castle, and like, whoa, holy cow! Which is
there's a lot of you. Well, I think what you found out post pandemic, a lot of demand in these other countries for the product. So
they're hungry. They are hungry.
The complete opposite of the States. The demand's not there in a lot of the States, and that's a bigger question we got to ask ourselves.
Yeah,
for all wrestling companies, really, for all wrestling companies. Now it's interesting because you kind of hinted at this earlier, J-Bone, and Mark's here talking about like the only way I go over to TNA Plus is they start bringing back Melissa Santos in the Twitch era format. Now I know that's kind of tongue in cheek and all, but you kind of hinted at it earlier because I know both of us. Like me and J-Bone became a lot of a duo during the co-stream era of impact on access on Access TV or wherever they were at the time, all over the place. But during the Twitch era, which was a lot of fun. And I know during COVID, a lot of the streaming services offered like kind of the group format. We did it in the Discord as well, like the watch alongs. If the app could kind of build in some of that Twitch or co-stream type setup, like that would be a recommendation I'd have for them. Something where you can,
like a live
maybe
chat
other subscribers, like maybe interact with, like kind of have cameras and all, and like maybe jump in with other people watching the show at the same time. Like maybe like using the WWE as an example, like a Thunderdome concept, where like you can like not just chat with people, but maybe interact more with people while watching.
Okay, because I was gonna say, like, if you watch specials, wrestling specials, or sporting specials on Triller TV, you order their stuff. There's like the chat option on the side of the page.
Yeah, which is something, and that's like, and I know, like, obviously, even on the YouTube, like for all the ones you could, there's the chat would be there, which is nice. But something more interactive, like that would be good. I'd be in favor of that.
All right. I'm gonna quick grab something to drink. I'm out of my drink, but I know there's some more stuff to chat about here and there. So I don't know how long you want to go, another 15, 20 minutes ish, whatever.
That's fine. I know there were a few in the wrestling world topics that people wanted to kind of hit before we ended it. So we'll definitely get to those. So right now is a good time in the chat. Because, like I said, for any of you longtime TNI listeners or viewers, you know we used to do the family dinner. This is kind of a return tonight of the family dinner. It's the family barbecue, the barbecue and So get those in there because, we'll probably be finishing up in probably another 15, 20 minutes or so. So
within the next half hour-ish.
Yeah, let J-Bone grab a drink. I'll stay here, but definitely start getting it in there, and I'll start kind of looking through here. But let us know anything else. That kind of is the big TNA stuff we wanted to talk about. I did see a TNA tidbit that I will address about somebody not being in Chicago.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay. So the tease there was Jason Hotch, obviously of the Good Hands, saying he will no longer be able to, that he's available for bookings during those that same weekend as Against All Odds and the taping. So obviously my guess is the Good Hands are probably just, they don't have a storyline, or there's not a need for them to be booked, because in my mind they were local enough to probably show up there. So I know they haven't been at all the tapings. They're here and there lately, which is, you could say that for a few acts right now in TNA. So obviously they're doing more per appearance deals for a lot of these individuals. So that's the case there. So that's something, obviously, that was in the news. Let me just see here. Kill Steel. I like a modern day IPWF style show on Saturdays where the DMC is heavily involved. I think they do need to get the DMC more heavily involved. It feels like there's been times where it's been pretty up there. It all depends on probably who the champion was, on how often they used it. But if they really want to go into the social media aspect of DMC, I think they do need to probably get it more involved. But an IPWF, I don't know. I think it works great as the once a year show. I don't know if you can do it much more than that. But for the app, speaking of that, IPWF, but you get into stuff like Wrestle House. I want more of that for the app. Like if let Rosemary, let Artie Evans, let all these people run wild with some crazy ideas and test them out on the app. Like if you don't want to try them out on TV yet, let people get creative. Like I think all you know, I'm an old ECW guy for back in the day. Like half the gimmicks that got over was because they just let them do whatever they wanted to do half the time.
Huh?
They're like, try this, do whatever you want, and they would come up with gold.
Oh yeah.
So that's how you do it. Oh, and you know what? I do want to highlight. So I did mention to them that it was Jason Hotch that said he would not be attending. Well, he was taking bookings that same weekend of the Against All Odds and the taping. So it seems to indicate that the Good Hands will not be in Chicago. Oh, now what did you hear? Because you thought it was something else, J-Bone.
Oh, no, I just, I know people are talking about Becky Lynch, Natalia, and Dijak primarily.
Well, yes, I still was keeping it a little TNA. I was waiting for you to come back.
No, that's fine.
Off the TNA wagon.
I was not aware of. I saw the post about Jason Hotch, but I didn't know what dates fell on what, so I wasn't sure exactly what his post was pertaining to. As far as he wasn't going to be,
Here's one last piece of TNA stuff before we get into that, Jay.
Okay.
Dr. Gerbs had put out music video for, now you might know this better than me, Absturge by Rotten S featuring Crazy Steve drops Tuesday. I can't wait. I know they've been wearing like the shirts and all that, but
that's Crazy, the band that does the Crazy Steve entrance?
I'm pretty sure that's what I think. I'm pretty sure that's true.
Yeah, because someone actually on our Facebook page put a comment on one of our posts, and I try to like make sure I see we don't get a lot of likes or comments and stuff, but when I do get them, I try to see what it is, who's posting what. And that was one of them. Okay. Yeah. And
it was Dr. Gerbs that posted that on the Facebook.
Oh, thank you. That's cool. Thank you. Appreciate it. Now we know.
Also, Dr. Gerbs is getting a little sample of Skylar's beard oil from Mad Cat Beard Care. It's called Good Hand Gunsmoke.
Oh, wow. Okay.
How about that? But here's
nice.
On a comment. They need to make Explosion. And I know this is a comment we've heard a lot over the years. Explosion to a legit second show and make it 2 hours on Access. They need more hours of program to get others over. Because what Explosion is roughly an hour, like with so.
And they throw classic stuff in there too, right?
Yeah, they throw some filler in there. With Explosion as roughly an hour, and then the 2 hour main show, I think with the current roster setup and all, you could probably get about an hour of additional programming, either added on to an additional show or create a new show. I don't know. The Explosion format has been around so long, and it's kind of been what it is. I think it definitely, you always have to have, I think you need 2 matches for sure, at least. You can't just have one. That's a given. But see, if it was me, if I had that other hour to program, I think I'd lean into the knockouts as more of a 1 hour knockout show, as another hour to go with Explosion and the 2 hour main show. But beyond that, I think you need to expand the roster if you're going beyond that.
That's the thing, is you only got so many people to spread so many different ways on a weekly basis to keep it fresh and exciting storyline wise, and not just throw matches out there for throwing matches out there.
And they put some like backstage videos like on their socials a lot during the week that you don't see during the TV show. Put some of that on Explosion. Like that would fill in Explosion better. Like I know, and I'm not against putting like a throwback in there or some type of like, because you want to sell the app like that. That's been the whole purpose of our show tonight, is they the whole thing is wanting to sell the app. So I get its part in Explosion.
And the transition, yeah.
So like that needs to be there. See that, and then see John Palmer, as he's saying, it's really only one new match in Gia's interview. I know at times I think they teased when it first came back a second match, or maybe one or two episodes had a second match. But it feels like you need two matches. If you're trying to do a 1 hour show, I need two matches out of you. A fresh interview is fine if you get that every week, and some type of one or two like backstage segments like you'd get during a TV show, and that's
right.
And throw in a throwback, bam, I'm good. So you're right. Like, once again, I'm not gonna go too harsh on Explosion, because remember, they canceled Explosion.
Yeah.
Did John Bravo break Explosion being canceled on our show?
I think he did. Yeah. We were like, what?
Like, just out of nowhere, he's like, oh, that's gone. But it came back, which is good. I was a big BTI fan, still a big BTI fan. But it only works as the pre-show. I'd love for that to return too.
I miss who was the guy that was on there?
Oh, John? Big John?
Yeah.
Big John.
I miss Big John. He was great. He had a lot of charisma, and he really did it well. I mean, for being the guy that was...
Now, that was obviously because he was more local to Skyway. So that was just more of an issue with that.
Yeah. No, not Josh Matthews. He's still there. Josh, of course, is more behind the scenes. He's like, senior producer or whatever his title is.
I still see Josh there often.
Yeah. I know I'd see him at least.
Josh Matthews in the truck.
At least, literally in a truck, yeah. Or gorilla, whatever you call it, yeah. When I was at the shows in Chicago, I'd see him at least once and just say, hey,
Yeah, usually he pops out before the show, because I really think he is in like the truck the rest of the time. But like, he's there checking the layout, seeing how it looks for like TV and all. So, but no, he's doing he's putting in the hours, putting in the work.
Yeah. He got that promotion for a reason. He's, very hard working. So, but yeah. So should we talk about a few? We'll just say potential. We don't. We never know exactly everything.
Yes. Supposedly, contract status is up in the air for some individuals.
One of them, which I think is, I'm going to kind of go from least of importance. It kind of depends on who you like, who you don't like. I'm going to go from like least to whoa. One I did hear about was Dijak. Now, I'm a big Dijak fan. I was pretty hyped to see him go from NXT back to the main roster. But here's the thing. He has not yet been featured on Raw. Like, for example, over the course of the weekend or this last SmackDown that they did in Riyadh, Jeddah, one of the two, wherever it was, over in Saudi Arabia, they had a few promos of people being featured that didn't make the trip, that weren't necessarily on the show, but it was, hey, so-and-so still on their way, like Andrade El Idolo. He's going to be a big guy going forward on SmackDown. And then it was some women wrestler too. I don't remember who it was. Oh, Davenport. I can't think of the first name, but she's got the black and Blair Davenport. Thank you. Yes. She's also coming to SmackDown. So, stuff like that. They haven't featured anything like that on Dijak that I've seen. as far as like, hey, so and so is on Raw now, you'll see him soon. I have not seen that. I don't know what's going on with him. If he is to be a free agent soon, I would love to see him come to a place like TNA. I think he'd be a monster, you know. And he's not your typical monster. He's not like a Braun Strowman, but he is a tall
He's a big dude. Big man.
He's
athletic.
He's very athletic. I love his wrestling style.
I remember seeing him. He was a fixture on the Northeast indie scene. So I've seen him a lot over the years. Okay. And then he had a Ring of Honor run, I think, for a bit. I think I saw him there too. And then I think he was in Evolve. So yeah, he made a lot of appearances. Old Donovan Dijak over the years. So that's something to keep an eye on. Because his only thing was in Retribution, right? He was part of Retribution.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. He had a hell of a feud with Keith Lee on the Indies. I know those two wrestled like they hit several places and had like a big match wherever they went. And that's really cool to see when you see stuff like that. You know, going back to the early 2000s when you see like a touring team of guys that's featured in every place they go. For example, like say CM Punk wrestling Colt Cabana. That was like a touring thing for like all over the place, you know.
Well, yeah, it makes sense. Like if your top guys kind of doing it, and then like maybe you're traveling together and all that, like it kind of makes sense to kind of book these feuds. So yeah.
So yeah, but nonetheless, we'll see what happens with Dijak if he's going to sign, if they really got plans for him. I hope they do. You know, I hope in this new Trips regime, obviously Vince likes certain guys. Trips is obviously got a different point of view. As you've seen, WWE has changed a lot, you know, over the course of the last year. So, Zach Bonifer said they had a feud in NXT too. Okay. Yeah, you know what? I think I did see that a little bit. Not a lot, but
everywhere.
And then, yeah, so all over the place, which is cool. Who else? Natalya. Natalya is another one that.
Happy birthday, Natalya.
She's I'm not sure what I'm not going to try to guess her age. I know she's
not appropriate. It's not an appropriate question.
Yeah. Go hit that bike.
That is not an appropriate question.
It's another one I suppose I should keep around.
That J-Bone. I don't want to get off topic and talk TNA here. But when are the machine guns going to show up anywhere?
I've been waiting. It felt like the last couple pay-per-views were a great time. If they're doing like a big push, a heel push for the Young Bucks, like, they're starting to run roughshod over the company of AEW. What better time than to bring in another veteran tag team like the Young Bucks to have them, you know, and not just because obviously FTR and versus Young Bucks is a great feud, but you can only do that so much. You need something, you need fresh teams, you need something fresh in there. You bring in the Motor City Machine Guns. It still hasn't happened. It seemed like it was a done deal. I don't know. I haven't heard anything. I haven't seen anything. I don't know if they were just taking a few months off because just to kind of rest because they were a little banged up from TNA stuff. I have no idea.
It makes me feel at this point that if they do show up somewhere, it's going to be a short-term thing. It's going to be like a feud or two and then out, it feels like. Like, I feel like if they were going to go somewhere for a long-term fit, I feel like it would have happened already. So it feels like it's going to be just storyline related, which, hey, fine, but makes me wonder. Maybe do we see the Machine Guns return sooner than we thought. And
it
TNA.
could be.
Could they be back this year? By the end of the year?
Yeah, like look what happened to Trey Miguel.
Well, it almost feels like something like that. A situation where
kind of
team gone, but then nothing happens, so maybe not. So something to keep an eye on.
See. Yeah.
But so Natalya, we're talking about Natalya.
But yeah, Natalya, I thought I read something somewhere in the last week that she did sign an extension. But now I'm still.
I know there was at least one dirt sheet that put that out there. I don't know if it was confirmed or where it came from, but I still, the whole thing with the idea of Natalya and TNA, especially with the Montreal Slammiversary.
Yeah.
I think that would be like, I never thought she was coming to sign the TNA possibly. I think it would be like Jordan Grace. It'd be a worked out agreement. And this version of WWE right now is not 100% against that. Like they've loaned talent out for one-off performances. So I could see that happen. I don't think that's a impossibility. I think that's probably as likely.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I agree. The perfect example is when Nakamura went to, you know what? I don't know what company it was, but he went to go. He went to go face off with Muta in one of. Muta was kind of doing a farewell tour.
Yeah. Yes. I did see that. So Justin here saying what was out there was that she was offered a contract, but nothing has been confirmed as far as I know. And that's the thing. And Nakamura was Noah. It was a Noah show.
Noah, thank you, Mark. Yeah. I knew it wasn't New Japan because they did their own thing with Sting and Darby Allin in New Japan for some big thing.
Big thing.
It was like a big show dedicated to Muta, but it was it was just like it was like a regular show, but the theme was farewell to Muta. So,
well, hey, speaking of Muta, and that is one thing. Like, hey, the app, the Plus, a night you can't miss. You get the Muta appearance, which
now was that a Twitch one?
That was, I thought that there was, because they did a weekend of shows. The show in Philly, and there was a show up in, I think, Long Island. And it's when they would do, like, one was the Plus special, and one was the Twitch special. I think Mist, maybe it was. Maybe Mist was the Twitch special. I'd have to double check on that. Good question.
Well, I know it was Philly, because it was that same one that, it was Morrison and Taya were there, and Taya kept getting harassed, and they kicked out some guy.
Oh, yes. Yes.
I think that's the same show. I think. That sounds familiar. But yeah, one thing I did hear is that the Twitch shows were gonna, if they haven't already, we're gonna make their way to the app, which is great because those Twitch shows when they started were And that was a real that was a transitional period as well. When they were doing like the one night only specials for several years in Florida, when they started touring, those one night only specials became unique to like wherever city they were in. Yeah. Detroit or wherever.
Yeah, because there was a while the one night onlys were handled like champions didn't have belts. Like there was, because they never knew when they would air. Like it was just kind of chopped up content a lot of the time. But then they started doing live ones. And
Jeez,
it's like,
Louise.
I remember like it's like EC3 has his belt. What's going on here? One night onlys. It's a whole different world.
Or so-and-so doesn't have or so-and-so didn't come out with a belt. So you're like,
now I know we talked about it on the review last week, but when we saw that there's DVDs for Eli Drake and Drew Galloway. Now, I wonder if the Eli Drake, speaking of these specials, the Night of the Dummies, I wonder if there's there has to be. He had his own special, the Night of Dummies.
That was the one in Michigan.
No, it was in New York. The Night of Dummies was in New York. It was in Binghamton, New York.
I could have sworn that one was in Michigan somewhere, like Detroit or something. But that was a Twitch one, right?
That was either a Twitch or a one night only. They might have been near the end of the one night only era.
But I specifically remember, I think that's before I joined the podcast.
Yeah, it was definitely pre-podcast.
Yeah, it was like 2016, 2017.
Yeah, it feels like a 16 to me, but I'm not positive on the year off the top of my head, but it feels like around then.
But that's when I really, really jumped on the Eli Drake bandwagon. I'm like, this guy's getting his own show. Hot damn. Give him the title. I kept, man, if there was anybody rooting for that guy to get the title, it was me. I'm like, give this guy the title. Gosh, did he get the championship? I don't even remember. If he did, it took forever.
Who, Eli?
Yeah.
Oh, he got the one with he got the global. He did get the world title.
Okay. He got the one with the stamp on it.
Yeah. Oh, or maybe it was 2018. It's all blur.
The rubber stamp. Yeah.
It's Vince. Hey, Vince. Happy Memorial Day. And once again, well, we didn't say it, but happy Memorial Day to everybody out there. Thank you, everyone, for your service. Obviously, to the families, those who served, and sadly to those who fell. We thank you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Natalya, it could be a one-off that they do. It'd be great. But a lot of people have been talking about it. Jordan and Natalya have even reacted to each other on social media about a one-off or
it feels like that's there for a reason. You just don't do that for no reason.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, get it going. Make it happen. Natalya's been around long enough. She is one of the consummate best. Whether she has the championship or not doesn't matter. She is still one of the best in the WWE. Justin said Night of the Dummies is on there. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so go look for that. It's another great reason to get the Twitch. You got the Twitch specials on there. Go check them out because God knows that the TNA Twitch is dead and gone. I don't think
it's still there. It's still there, but it has not been active in quite a few years.
It's not active. Okay, so it's in place.
The last time I checked, it was a couple years since they posted anything on there. Wouldn't it just be like out of nowhere for our Twitch audience right now? Like if TNA uploaded a video on their Twitch channel, just like out of nowhere.
That's like WWE just put Howdy stuff on there.
There you go.
QR code stuff on there. Yeah.
Just have like a random show just posted on there out of nowhere. Like what?
Goofy. But yeah, so whether she stays with WWE or not, we'll have to wait and see. But it feels like the match with Jordynne Grace is a must at this point. Would love to see it. I think it's. I think you can call it an absolute dream match. Natalya's been around a long time, and she's always been a pro. We'll see. We'll see. Last but certainly not least, the big name on the list that we're talking about as far as contracts coming up is Becky. Now, Seth did sign. That news came out. He did sign. And WWE made a point to put that out there because they knew how many people were, keeping track of that one. Drew McIntyre just signed. In fact, In fact, The Rock threw him a nice little bonus for re-signing. He hand delivered to him some kind of special Scottish sword, some kind of authentic sword. So that's stuff like that. That's pretty cool. You get some kind of signing bonus or whatever. Becky is considered one of the best in the company, probably considered a top 5, if not at least top 10 best in the world women's wrestler, in my opinion.
Professional podcasting opinion.
In my professional podcasting opinion, absolutely. Because of course we're professional on here. With my week long old beard here, of course we're professional. We'll see what happens with her. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh yeah, I'd like her to cross the line, so to speak. Ooh. Absolutely. Do I think Becky Lynch would cross the line? Not unless she just wanted to, just for the sake of wrestling, because she's not going to get paid nearly as much as she would from WWE.
No, it would have to be like standing on business, like Naomi did, or Trinity when she was TNA Impact.
I give Naomi, Trinity, whatever, however you want to say her name, I give her all the credit in the world. She was an absolute consummate professional while she was in TNA Impact, being a women's champ for 6 months, a few months, whatever it was. She was great. I never got the vibe from her like, I'm up here and the rest of you are down here. I never got
that. No, she seemed to genuinely love being there.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's a whole nother thing. Like, because you're talking like Becky, and Becky's has said nice things about TNA. I believe her new book, she actually references TNA. That the knockouts in TNA, like when she was training, that's where she wanted to go. Because that was the division for women's wrestling. So she had interest. Like she definitely, but it's very tough to compete. Like, because when you hear the numbers, like what like Mercedes got, like the 5 million type a year, like that's crazy numbers. Like TNA is not at a place to offer that type of contract. But if she was looking for something, you're right. Just like to go against new opponents, to do something else for 6-9 months a year, welcome, come on in. But
yeah,
that would be very tough to warrant financially what it would. But no, she's that's a game changer right there.
Yeah, I just looked, and Becky's book is on Spotify right now.
Oh, there you go.
It's interesting. I know there's a bunch of audio books that are actually on there. So anyway,
and don't forget to get a friend of the show, David Penzer's book, which is also available right now.
Yes, yeah, get that on Amazon, and there's also, he's put out links on for like the actual publisher's site. Yeah. But if you want, if you got Amazon, if you pay for Amazon Prime, you want the free delivery, I'm pretty sure that's an option for his book. So, yeah, go give him some love. Especially if you're a classic WCW fan. That's the main thing. You'd think, oh, it's just TNA. No, he put this book out, and this is actually the first of several volumes he's planning on putting out regarding his career. This first one is all history, behind the scenes stuff about WCW. So, like I said, if you're a WCW fan, I feel like this is a must, because God knows the fans out there, they can't get enough of, peel back the curtain just a little bit and let's see what's going on. He does that here.
But once again, everybody, thanks for joining the impromptu TNI Memorial Day barbecue NA with J-Bone and myself. Definitely enjoyed discussing some of the hot topics with you tonight. And like I said, definitely, I know we've said it in the past, but I really wanted to hammer it home tonight about the Discord, because I think, especially when topics like this come up, and there might be a time period before we have a live review or shows where everyone can discuss, definitely want to get ahead of that, because like I said, in the Discord is where you get that feeling of what people are thinking right now about TNA. Speaking of TNA, Daniel Spencer, hello. Hope you had a good Memorial Day there.
Nice. And it looks like there are a few people that just popped in the Discord within the last hour or so. So
it's working. It's working, J-Bo.
Yeah. It is. There's I believe there's a Jeremy and someone else here, I believe.
But yeah, feel free to
check.
Go in there, introduce yourself if you like, or just sit back, whatever you're comfortable with, just like here. Comment, don't comment, comment later if you like. However you want. But definitely, like I said, we want to try to get ahead of a lot of this. Okay. Oops. Spencer. It actually hasn't been a good day for me, but hey, tomorrow is a new day. Yes, it is. That's okay. We can go to other companies. We were just talking about some stuff from other companies too. So we were doing this isn't the official review show. This is a separate entity tonight. Still was a lot of TNA talk about some of the. We were
talking about the Ultimate Insider news that came out. So we were, going back and forth with fans like, okay, this, you're losing this. What do you get, instead if you sign up and stuff? We went through the Q&A that's on the website. We also talked about, you talked about some Slammiversary stuff with tickets and stuff like that. And we also talked about some free agent stuff. So we're just about to wrap it up. So if you want to go back and see I feel like we had a wonderful conversation with our audience. I love our chat. I really do. They keep it going. And that's what the purpose was for tonight. We wanted to get the audience's reaction to what is going on with the Ultimate Insiders and the TNA Plus and such, to really get a perspective on, okay, how's the attitude out there? How are people feeling? And you get a little bit of everything. That's why we did this. So it's just great to see. So
yeah. So like I said, thank you once again, everybody, for joining us. Always much appreciated. Obviously we'll be back on Thursday after a new episode of TNA on TNA Impact on the Access TV. But definitely continue here on the Discord as well, because like I said, we're there. I've been chiming in more lately, so definitely if you want to interact with us, comment here on the video, but definitely jump in the Discord as well. Get this out there. Feel free to hey, if you're on any socials, promote this video. Let people know what's going on with everything. But here's Daniel Spencer. Think about this. Why let YouTube get 40% and be limited on what you can see when we can get 100%? And that's kind of it. That is a thing you got to keep in mind as a company.
That's the business. That's the business side that we're talking about. It's business. Yes, the fans, you are more than welcome to have your opinion on, okay, I'm losing this. What do I gain? Can I afford this? What does this cost? All those things. From an insider's point of view, Daniel says it perfectly here. YouTube is getting almost half of the money that comes in through all the subscriptions, everything, all the monies, the bonuses, the subscriptions, all that stuff. YouTube takes almost half. We see that same thing too. Our subscriptions, our memberships, YouTube takes almost half. That's why, Google is a multi-trillion-dollar. That's why. Okay. Period. End of subject. So completely understandable. TNA Impact does their own thing. They get 100% of the monies now. So try to look at it that way too.
Yeah.
You know,
and honestly, more income for the company, that all results in better things for us as fans, because the more you can take in as a company, the more you can put back into it as well. So that's definitely something you want to see. And as Daniel Switzer says, 99 cents for just the weekly TV. That is a great deal. Like, you're looking at less than a quarter a week to watch the weekly show. Like, obviously, if you can watch it another way, all power to you. But if this was your means of watching it, you can still do so at that rate.
Oh, yeah.
But highly recommend TNA Plus, though. It's a way better app than Impact Plus. So, and that is the thing. I know there's probably, and we went over the whole, the comments, the
pros and cons.
The pros and cons earlier with the comments. But the Impact Plus was a whole different vehicle than what it is now as TNA Plus. So, but if that left a bad taste in your mouth, it's a totally different thing now. So definitely, hopefully, if you are in that $4.99 tier, give it these 2 months that they're going to give you that same rate, and at least try it out. You might come and be like, you know what? I was hesitant, but I like it. And maybe you're a subscriber. Hey, maybe you're not. That's your choice as a consumer. But hopefully you're willing to give it a chance.
Yeah. We're just here to let you know what's up, you know? So.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, it seems like at least from the TNI fam that has tried it, they're fans of it. So, hey, they wouldn't steer you wrong. The fam doesn't steer you wrong. So.
Right. And that's why we talked about what we did with the old version as much as we did, because we were having troubles with it. We knew the fans were frustrated like we were. That's why we talked about it. It wasn't to bash the company, but we were like, we tried to be a voice for X amount of fans ever feeling the same way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's why, and once again, that's why we did this tonight, because at least on the Discord, on some of the socials with comments I was getting or seeing in my feeds, it felt like that's why we had to do the show, because we do like to think that we help raise the voice of some of the fans. And we know this was kind of like a pretty hot topic on both sides with the pros and the cons. So getting it more out there, getting as much of the facts as we could out there, as well as getting everyone's opinion, I think was a good thing to do, and just kind of move from there. But once again, thanks everybody. Once again, feel free to put comments in later. We'll definitely be, I'm sure some of this will come up again on Thursday, and definitely in the Discord. Can keep that conversation going, because you can keep going all night.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So, but thank you. If you came in late, just, watch it, because we had a wonderful discussion tonight. So much love, everyone. And thank you, Bill, for suggesting we did this. I feel like we had a great show tonight. Not the usual, where we're doing reviewing the show. This is more news related and Q&A related. So I love doing, like, not all the time. There isn't always, time to do this, but tonight seemed like a good one. So happy Memorial Day. Hope you all had a safe holiday. Daniel Spencer, I don't know what's going on, but hey, I hope that tomorrow is a brighter day for you. And, we're thinking about you. So keep your chin up, man. We love you. But yeah, thanks for watching tonight. We'll see you Wednesday for Team TNI UK, bringing you all things TNA as always. They do the rundown from the week before, a little preview of things to come, along with news and their opinion on stuff. And then our stuff is always the live reaction I do on Thursday during the episode. And then we do a review with the crew following that, discussing news. And we'll kind of talk about this again as well, depending on what comes after this as far as comments and discussion. So, all right. We'll see you then, folks. Much love. Take care. Make sure you smash that like button on your way out. Smash that sub button if you're new and you're digging the content. and ring that bell for notifications. Why? So that you know when more of our content hits your screen. Later, folks. Take care.